Welcome back, everyone. This is Sheepdog Smokey, and we are beating a dead horse here. This was something came out today. Of course, Devin Nunes. He highly doubt the Democrats will get an unredacted Mueller report. In an interview with Harris Faulkner on Outnumbered Overtime, the rep, the I'm sorry, that needs to. You need a copy editor. It's either the Republican or Rep Devin Nunes. Republican California. So it wouldn't be the rep, it would just be Rep Devin Nunes. But he said he highly doubts Democrats will get to see an unredacted Mueller report, especially if there is grand jury testimony in there. I was actually the first member of Congress to say that we do not only need the Mueller report, which I actually call the Mueller dossier because I think it's written by partisans and I don't think there's a lot in there. But what I'm interested in learning is how exactly did Mueller's team create this report? Because we know we had a lot of partisan actors in there, so I want to see the underlying information, Nunes said. I want to see what the interviews did. I want to see that the interviews that they did, I want to see who they subpoenaed. I'm sorry, reading this is like reading an essay in one of my classes. I want to see if they had any wiretaps, because we know that these cast of characters, two were kicked off early. We've already caught them taking exculpatory evidence against Americans and leaving it on the cutting board floor. So we really do want to see not just the report, but the underlying information. Now, this one doesn't go very far, but I'm going to go back to a video I did not long ago. And that's where I basically read Attorney General Barr's memo to Congress, which he has, unfortunately, because we have idiots in the House, had to come out and say, no, it was not a summarization of the Mueller report. It was not in any way meant to be that. It was me explaining to you that I've received it, and it was explaining to you that there are certain current laws that prevent release of certain information, among that grand jury testimony. Then we get Maxine Waters saying that the 324,000-page report, it's not, it's 400. And we get other people just going on and on and on in the news about how just release the report now. I'm honestly waiting on Chuck Schumer or Nancy Pelosi to actually introduce a law saying that disobeying a Democrat is illegal. He literally cited the laws he is obeying about not releasing certain information. And the people whose job it is to pass laws ignore that. He is not allowed to release certain information. He has stated that he is working with Mueller and his team to ensure that the proper things that cannot be released are redacted, and also that only what must be redacted is redacted. Yes, we've made jokes for many years that this or that is redacted and that's redacted, and it's redacted because of, well, redacted. I've personally joked with friends of mine where I send emails where every word that is not a, and, the, of, or another version of that is the word redacted in brackets. And we go back and forth and we laugh about it, but there are reasons for that. We have certain information that is very sensitive and may pertain to ongoing cases. Grand jury testimony would be an example of that. Now, why do you presume the Democrats are going on and on about releasing unredacted? And it's very simple. They've actually already started laying the groundwork for it. We have people saying that Mueller is a Russian spy, Mueller is compromised, that without seeing the complete and totally unredacted report, they won't believe a word in it. They're laying the groundwork for, I don't believe this report, so there was collusion, so there was obstruction, so just impeach him now, damn it. We got Spartacus Booker, and we've got Crying Chuck, and Nutty Nancy, Mad Maxine, and all the rest of them gearing up for the day they issue a statement saying the Mueller report in its redacted form is unreliable and unverifiable. Therefore, we must assume there was collusion and there was obstruction of justice. Therefore, we are demanding impeachment because of because of charges we can't prove. It's just a matter of time before we actually hear one say, "I want to impeach him because I want it. So you do it because I want it because I am in charge." We've literally already seen Ocasio-Cortez tell people that if they don't like the Green New Deal, they have to come up with a better idea because for now, she's in charge. We are literally seeing the exposing of the deep state and their "I am your God, peasant" attitudes. It's only a matter of time before they voice it. We have creepy Uncle Joe Biden who woman after woman has been seen in photos being groped by him. He has been groping children. We now have at least 2 women who say he was very inappropriate with them. And yet we have not a single Democrat saying, Joe Biden, do not run for president. Yet Trump said mean things 20, 30 years ago, and oh, he's the most horrible person on the planet. He should be shot into the sun. It's a triple standard. You and I, the regular Joes and Janes of the world, are expected to obey every single solitary law there is, even if there's contradictory laws. Sorry about that. Again, it's allergy time. The rich and famous, like Smollett or Avenatti or Weinstein, well, they're expected to obey some laws, but not all laws, and what they're expected to obey may change from time to time. And then you have the swamp, the Clintonistas, the Bookers and Feinsteins and Waters and Schumers, who don't have to obey a damn law they don't like. They park where they want. They may or may not pay taxes. They don't have to pay their bills and their debts, and we're not allowed to criticize them. But we're finally seeing people step up. We have Representative Dan Crenshaw, honestly one of the most needed breaths of fresh air that we've gotten in Congress in a while. But we have Graham, and we have Nunes, and we have Cruz. So we have people who are finally realizing, if I don't finally grow a spine and refuse to be part of the deep state, I'm going to go down with them, and that's going to destroy my country. Cruz is roughly my age. Crenshaw, I believe, is a couple of years off my age. Graham, I believe, is roughly my parents' age. But they're actually working to stop if you don't do exactly as I say, then I'm going to say you're lying, and then I'll make everyone else think you're lying, and then I'll get my way anyway. Idiots like Waters and Feinstein and Schumer and Pelosi. I want Attorney General Barr to walk into that room, look Pelosi in the face, and say, you have 2 choices. I leave this book here redacted as is required by law, or you pass a law making it legal for me to remove the redactions. There are U.S. laws on the books that require these redactions. Undo those laws, and I will be happy to unredact. Until then, I obey United States law. Make her either submit to the laws she's unwilling to change, or make her submit changes to the laws so that she can oust any information she wants into the public. She won't do that, because there's information she wants hidden so badly that she would sell her soul to Satan a second or third time to ensure those laws never change. This is what happens every time a Republican gets elected that they don't like. They demand laws that they hide behind not apply to the people they hate. These are the laws that they hid behind for the Seth Rich investigation. Well, that's grand jury information. We can't put that out. Or Benghazi. Well, that's classified military information. We can't release that. Or any number of other scandals where no, it must be redacted because that's privileged information. But now that this information is, as they likely know, going to prove they have been lying for more than 2 years, they demand the redactions be removed. So that in one case, well, it's redacted. We don't know what it says, so it obviously says what we want it to. Or, if Barr folds and unredacts it, I don't even know if that's a word, removes the redaction, he broke the law. That invalidates this whole report. That's obstruction of justice. Then they get away no matter what. It's the policies and tactics of a toddler. They set up these situations where they want to make sure they get their own way. For a toddler, it's just a screaming fit. And half the time you end up getting a whack on the behind and sat in a corner, or sent to your room with no supper. But sometimes the parents cave. This time, these are supposed adults in positions of power. And they're hoping that their tantrum of, unless you release it without any redactions, we don't know what it says. So we just have to assume what it says. And we will assume that it says he's guilty. And they hope their threat works to get you to break the law. Because the second you break the law, you'll be in jail for breaking the law. They'll use your law breaking to invalidate everything you've said, and they'll still try to get their way. This is what we're fighting for. We're fighting to remove the swamp from Washington, D.C. We're fighting to remove The people who believe that they are now royalty instead of elected public servants. They are not our boss. We are their boss. And it's time we told them that again and again until they either leave office or buckle under and do the job. But I've talked long enough on this. I would love to, like I said, see Attorney General Barr walk in and say you have two choices: accept the report that is redacted as the law requires, or repeal the laws that are making me redact it. If you repeal the law, I will change the redactions to match the law as you make it. But until you do, I do nothing. But I doubt I will see that because he knows that they're playing a long game. And he wants to let them play the long game so that they keep shooting themselves in the foot. But, like I said, I've talked long enough. Make sure, keep your comments classy and civil. We do not learn from an argument. We learn from debate. Make sure to hit the like button and also subscribe and hit that notification so you stay up to date on all of my future content, which, like I've said before, is going to include a couple of rabbit holes that are different from this. But until next time, everyone, have a wonderful evening.